Thank you so much for joining with us today. I'm Satish Bosle, Senior Technical Account Manager. Been with AWS for the past 2.5 years. Over the course of my 15 plus year career in data and analytics, I have extensive experience working with a wide range of OLTP, OLAP, big data, cloud technologies, and analytical tools like Power BI, Alteryx, NIME, etc., and obviously QuickSight. So during my time at AWS for the past 2.5 years, I've been an integral part of QuickSight technical field competency. We call it TFC. In this role, I have guided and trained customers on leveraging the power of QuickSight to unlock new data insights and drive business value. So today's agenda in this session, as Madison mentioned, we'll delve into the details of Amazon QuickSight Q, with a particular focus on Amazon Q topic creation and enhancing the topic. This will encompass creating, exploring, and enhancing Q topics. Okay, and that will be followed by a demo. Okay, so now, what is Amazon Q in QuickSight? So it is basically Amazon QuickSight's natural language query component, which allows users to ask data questions in plain conversational English and get quick, visually appealing answers. Okay, so now, what is Amazon QuickSight Q topic? So to enable natural language questions and building visuals with natural language, input requires Q topic to be created. So Q topic is a very important part of Amazon Q. So basically Q topics are a collection of one or more data sets that represent a subject area that your business users can ask questions about. Okay, so today we will demonstrate how simple it is to create a topic and explore ways to refine further. So how will this help? This will help your end users derive maximum value from the experience. So we'll walk you through step by step setting up a Q topic and making additional configurations. Okay, so first one is creating Q topic. So to get started with creating a Q topic, you'll first need to have all the relevant data sets which you want to be part of your Q topic you'll be creating. So creating a Q topic is very simple. So during the demo, I'll show you like under topic section, you can just click on new topic. You can give the name of the topic over here along with the description. So a good description is helpful for users to understand what the topic is about. Then, as I said, you should have all the data sets to be used with Q. It'll ask you to select a data set. In this case, I've shown that I've used one data set, which is retail daily. And once that is done, you can just create it. It's as simple as that. Now, after you do that, the data set will be analyzed by Q, as Q needs to index the data and set up field configuration as part of topic creations. So we will go through the details, what all field configurations will be done, so you don't have to do much work. So once the Q topic is created, if you go under the topic section, you will see that your topic has been created. Okay. So now, once the topic is created, what you'll see is you'll see 4 sections: the summary, the data, user activity, and the suggested questions. So in the summary section, what it'll show you is the name of the topic here, the description, when it was last modified, and last refresh. Okay, that is a section where it shows you improve your topic. So this specifically asks you to start reviewing your topic settings to improve performance. So I'll be taking you through enhancing the Q topic, which will cover everything related to improving your performance. So the next part is the data tab. So in this, we do have the data fields, the data sets, name entity. So the data fields. So this displays details about, if you see here, it displays the details about all the data fields along with synonyms. So if you see, Q has automatically included the most relevant columns and added fields over here, added field name synonyms in this initial version of the topic. But however, Q doesn't know your data to the extent you do, right? So there are additional configurations that we can make to give Q more pointers and thereby help Q tackle wider variety of questions more effectively. Next to that, you have the data set where which will show you what all data sets are part of this topic. And next to that is the named entity, which are named entities basically is grouping of data fields that collectively represent a business concept and are used to enhance the Q&A experience. I love this feature because, say, like if there are customers who would like to see product details, right? So normally how you query is you give all the column names, but with named entity, you can group them together so that it is easy for the users. So if they just need product details, and if in the named entity you say like a product name, whatever product code, product type, etc., all the details will be given to you directly instead of manually typing each one. So the next one over here is the user activity tab. User activity shows how many questions, total questions, how many were answerable, how many were unanswerable, and there's positive and negative feedback. This is very important because depending on this, currently because the topic was just created, you don't see much data over here, but later on, once you share the topic with your users and when they start using, you'll see all the details over here. The questions which will be asked by the users will be shown here. And I'll get to this, the negative feedback. It's very important so that whenever a user gives feedback, it may be positive or negative. Say if a negative feedback is given, the details will be shown here. Okay. And then you can see what is the feedback, what is the comment given by the user, act on it, and accordingly improve user experience. Moving on to the next one is the suggested questions tab. In this, we do have two sections, verified and AI generated. So verified questions give you more confidence to the users. So this section will provide you with comprehensive details on the verified questions, those that you have thoroughly reviewed and explicitly marked as verified. So when the user see this is verified, means they know, okay, the author of this Q topic has verified everything related to this. The second thing is the AI generated. So this shows questions based on enabled data fields in this topic. Okay, so there are options which I will go through. If you do not want, if you want to hide the AI generated questions, we have an option to hide them. I will go through it during the demo. So now going on to our main topic, which is enhancing Q topic. The first one is include and exclude fields. So Q tries, as I've told you, like Q tries to start off with a smaller set of fields that has potential for maximum impact. We can always exclude and include fields as we deem fit. So as you know your data well, so if you think, okay, this particular column will be used, just turn this on. It's as simple as that. So whichever you have turned on, that data will be displayed when the users ask questions. The next one is add filled synonyms. So Q, if you see over here, Q has automatically populated common synonyms for your data fields. So in addition, you can add more synonyms to make you understand custom terms, which is used by your team, your organization. So for example, over here, if you see for city, users might be using town and other synonyms. So if you add over here city, town, whatever your organization uses, when the users ask you for, say, like the town details, it will give you the details about the city. So now we have given field synonyms. What about value synonyms? Say for many users, or say your user base are using, um, say instead of Australia, the complete word, they use AUS. Okay, so if your data doesn't have the Australia data into it, the data set doesn't have Australia into it. So when you give total amount for, say, the country, this is just an example, it will give you a message saying that your exact question cannot be answered. So how do we tackle this? So we do have something called as value synonyms, where, say, Australia is the data which we have in a data set, and the synonym is Australia. So once you add the filled synonym and ask the same question to Q, it will give you the complete details for Australia. Okay, so now going on to the aggregation settings. Okay, so over here, say if I want to see products by month, okay? So by default, if you see, it gives you a number. It doesn't give you a unique count for it. So if you want to force a specific default aggregation, say we do have an option where you go and just select the count distinct. So after you select this and save it, so if you, when you give the same when you ask the same questions to Q, it will give you the unique number of products by month. Okay, so there is another option where you can specify not allowed aggregation. So earlier you saw in the snapshot that when we gave the query, right? It gave you that unique number. So now, say if you change the settings and give not allowed aggregations count distinct, even if you give show me unique products by month, it will give you the number instead of the unique count. Okay. Now, the next one is add semantic info. So, providing more details on the field context will help you answer more natural language questions. So Q automatically sets the semantic info for fields that it is sure of, but we have an option to change it. So in this case, if you see, this is a name column and it's set the semantic type as person. But for if you have other data sets like in which you have, say, a company or organization related data, then you have options to change it to our organization or whatever options you have in that, so that you have more context about your data. Okay, the next one is a very good feature too. So as you know, we do have calculated fields. Say in this case, if I've taken a basic example, say if you want to know true cost of something, right? So in this case, if you give true cost by product, it won't give you the details unless you have a calculated field in it. So over here, to create the calculated field, give the name of the field. In my case, I've given true cost, whatever formula you want, and then save it. After that, you can ask question to Q saying that, okay, show me true cost by product, and it will give you the details for that specific calculated field. Add a filter. So let's say a lot of analysis is expected on sales of two countries, say USA and UK. Okay, we can add filter to allow for easy selection of these two customers. So whenever any users want data related to these two customers, if we have a filter, it can be two or three, whatever your business requirements are. What we can do is we can create a filter. Okay, select the field. This is the filter type, include. What values to include, you can specify. I just specified two values, use USA and UK. So once this is created, okay, just note this, I've not selected anything at over here. Okay, I will go through that. And now if you ask Q for total sales for top two, it will give you the details for UK and USA. Over here also, if you see, the details are only for these two countries. Okay. Now, there are options, say like if for the specific data set, if you want users to only give this particular details about these two countries, right? Say if you select this, apply the filter anytime the data set is used, and if you selected apply always, if you query ask you for any details about Australia, it'll give you a message saying that your exact question cannot be answered. Why is this happening? Is because now we have selected this option and we are forcing that particular filter. Okay, this top to filter. Say now the main thing is, if we want this filter, plus we want other users to query data for other countries too. In that case, it's the same. You create the filter, select this option, but do not select this apply always, but select this apply always unless a question results in an explicit filter from the data set. Now what will happen is the users will be able to ask questions about the top two countries, which is USA and UK, along with the users will be able to get data for Australia, which was not possible earlier when we selected this apply always. Okay. Now, the named entity, like I mentioned about, this is a very powerful feature, and it's a very good because in this, we can define named entities if we need to show users a combination of fields. Say, in this example, which I've shown, say if someone asks for product details, right? If you did not have a named entity, it'll give you all, like it won't give you the specific details. So if you want the specific details to be displayed, what we can do is we can create a named entity, select the columns where you want to part of that named entity, and then once it is created, then you can go ahead and ask Q about this specific named entity. So if you see, like show me product details for top two, it'll give me the product details only the specific columns which are mentioned in the named entity. The next one is, many times there are multiple data sets which our customers want to add to the same topic, right? So we do have option where we can add data sets to the existing topic. In that, it's pretty easy. Under data sets, you have to just click on add data set. It'll ask you which other data set you want to add to it, and then add data set. It'll directly add it to that topic, and it'll index that to along with it. Okay. So now when you have, say, time, so sometimes what we have is like we have similar data sets having data at different time granularities. So configuring time basis, we do have an option where for each data set, if you see this data set under this tab, it can select daily, monthly, etc. So how will this help? So in this case, if you have like similar data sets at different time granularities, you can select the date granularity, and Q will accordingly route the query to the correct data set. So in my example, I've given just this daily details. So what it does, it directly goes to this retail daily data set. Okay. Now, the next one. So say our organization have like sales happening in different places, and currently say we are not capturing data about Switzerland. So, and when you share the topic with your users, and say if the users, you know that some of the users might check for data about Switzerland, but we do not have it in a data set. In that case, what you can do is, so that the user have a good idea, so you can add a custom message. So what will happen is, once you define the custom message, this thing, the keywords and the custom message, whenever a user asks for details about using that specific keyword, they will get a message. So like I just given this description. We did not support questions about Switzerland sales at this time. So you can configure the way you want it depending on the business requirement. But this custom message will be shown to the users if there are specific keywords we have defined here. Now, the next one is, as I mentioned, right? In the suggested questions, we do have verified questions and AI generated questions. So if you see here, there are two types of questions. The one which are tick mark, those are verified questions, and the other ones are AI generated questions. So sometimes the organizations do not want to use the AI generated. In that case, what we can do. So in this AI generated tab, we do have option hide from suggestions. So once you do that, so earlier you were able to see both verified and the AI generated. So once you select this option, you will see only the verified questions. Now, this is very important because, as I mentioned, um, when you share your topic with your users, so what they normally do is like they will check, and if they have any feedback, say in this case they provided some negative feedback, you will be able to see the details here in the user activity tab, and all the queries you'll be able to see here. So the negative ones you'll see here, and what do you call the feedback right here over here also you'll see the negative this. So now once you see this negative feedback and you want to improve user experience, what we can do is, so if you see here, once you go through that, say like if there is a specific feedback which we got negative, right? So you'll be able to see the comment too. See, in this case, the user have mentioned need vertical bar chart instead of line chart. Okay, now you know like what the user needs for this specific question when it is asked. So in this case, we need to take action, right? So what we do is like we do have an option where you see this like view. It will take you to the specific question. So first, if you see, we had the line chart. Now, as the user needs a vertical bar chart, change the vertical bar chart in this and mark it as verified. That will give additional confidence to the user. And then whenever the user runs asks the same questions to queue again, they will get a vertical bar chart instead of the line chart. So now I will take you through a demo. So as I mentioned, right, you'll have a topic section. So the first thing we want to go through is creating a new topic. So create a new topic. Say, I'll give this name retail Q topic. And so this is a description which I mentioned will help users to understand what the topic is about. Click on continue. Then it'll ask you for a data set. So I'll use this retail daily. And now if you see here, it is all indexing the data, etc. So it'll automatically create all the synonyms, etc. for you so that you don't have to do much work. So it'll take 1 or 2 minutes. So it's just setting the field configurations and indexing string values. And as I mentioned, you'll have different options to tweak the data depending on your business requirements as you understand your your business users more than we do, or more than Q does. So accordingly, you have a lot of options to tweak it to enhance the performance and improve user experience. Yeah, it's creating the topic now. Okay. So now, as I mentioned, right, once it is created, under topic sections, you'll be able to see all the topics you have. In my case, I've just created one topic. So this is the topic. And as I've taken you through all the details, right now we did not have statistics because we have not used the Q topic. So over here, this is the main part, right? So whichever data, right? I mean, fields are included. You've seen it's all are marked as this way, right? This is turned on. So, and there is an option where you can see specific included fields only. These are the fields which are included, and these are the fields which are not included. So say if in case if you want to include this field, so just it's very easy. So once you do it, if you see here on the right hand side, the metadata gets updated so that whenever you ask questions to Q, it will give you all the related data. So this is about include and excluding fields. So adding field synonyms. So like say over here, city, right? Town. For adding field synonyms, it can just go over here and add anything you like, say address, or say anything, say location one or something. I'm just giving an example. So it can add the synonyms here. It will automatically update it. So in this case, say like the example which I've given, right, for city, even if the users ask question to Q, say it's give me details about the place, it'll give you all the city details. Okay, this is how you define the um, field synonyms. Now the important part is the value synonyms. So now it's indexing the data sets with the latest data because we have added few things. Let us wait and then we'll query. So the next one is the value synonyms. So in my example, we have mentioned about Australia. So let me see. So so it's preparing the indexing the data set, right? So if you see here now, so as I mentioned, right, you'll get this particular details over here. Why you get this details? Because in our data set, the field value, the data value is Australian, not AUS. So how do we fix it? Okay, for country, right? So what you do is go ahead and configure value synonyms. In this, you can just add Australia and then give this and done. Okay. So once that is done, sometimes the queue topic takes a few seconds to update it. It'll update it 1 minute. So if you see here now, right, um, I gave this thing very fast, but it takes some time sometimes to update the indexes. So now if you see, you'll get details about Australia. Okay. So the next, what I want to show you is the default aggregation, right? So, so over here, we do have an option for default aggregation. So in this case, let me first do this, show you without selecting the option. So if you see here, show products by month, we have number of products by month. Okay. Now, if you want to force a default aggregation, so it's the metadata is getting updated. So now, so if you see here, now it's giving unique number of products per month. So the other option which I mentioned was not allowing specific aggregations, right? So in this case, if I say, okay, we do not need this count distinct aggregation. So in that case, even let me show you. So now, because we are not allowing that aggregation, it's giving you number instead of the unique values. Okay. So now the semantic info. So I'll show you the example which I had taken. So if you see here, right, Q has automatically mentioned its person because it's a name, but you do have other options. Say like if it's your organization related, different organization related, you can specify organizations so that Q has context of it. So the other options, right? So what we can do is like we'll have a calculated field. I'll go, and then what you do is add the calculation here, and now save it. Okay. Once that is saved, right? That is saved, you can ask the question saying, show me the true cost by product. Okay. It gives you total true cost for all the products. Okay. And let us go and add a filter now. In my example, what I had given was the top two countries. In this case, I wanted to add a country field, then custom filter list, include which values I want to include is USA and UK. I'm not selecting anything over here. Now its metadata is updated. So now if you see, you'll be getting details about USA or UK. Okay, now let me quickly show you the filters, right? So this is the option where you can just check for filters, etc., specific details. Now, if I do this, right? Okay, let me show you this first. So now it shows use sales for Australia, right? Now in the filter, if I select this, let us see what happens. So you'll get this error as I mentioned, right? Now, how do we fix this? As I mentioned, like if we want to have the filter the top two countries and want the other users to query the other data, just select this. Okay, now you'll be able to query all the needed data. So next one, I'll quickly go through one of the important thing is named entity. So if, as I mentioned, say the product details, say product details, add the columns, say product type, category, brand. Okay, now, and then save it. Now, if you give, so now if you see product details, it has given only the product details which have included in your named entity. Okay. Now quickly I'll show you how to add more data sets. So here datasets, add datasets. So you can add whichever data set you need and then it'll index the datasets. Okay, while it's indexing that. So over here, right, I'll show you an option where we can, so like first I'll show you this. So over here, if you see, I've not verified any questions yet. So that's why if you see all are AI generated. Say if we want to hide this from the suggestions. So what we need to do is just hide it from the suggestion and then you won't see anything over here. Okay, now in the user activity, right? So as I mentioned, you'll have all the details, all the questions answered, etc. So say a user, let me do this. Show me sales for Australia. And say, hold on. So now this is the example which I've taken, right? So say the user have given feedback, need vertical bar instead of line chart. So this is the last thing. Oh, 1 minute. So now negative feedback is gone. So where you'll be able to see this is, if you see here, a negative feedback is there, right? How do we fix it? Just go to this. Okay. Um, if you see, this is the comment from the user. Go to this, change it to vertical bar, and then mark it as verified. So now, whenever we ask this question, you'll see a vertical bar chart instead of line chart. Okay, that is all for the demo.